Today, we welcome back our friends from York Community Services Association, and all 4 of them have come. I'm way impressed. Its goal is to partner with the York residents who are in need of support, services, and referrals during a difficult time in their lives. The food pantry, the thrift store, and family services program are their gift to our community. So welcome, come on up.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Sertiful. I'm the executive director of YCSA, and this is our crew. I wanted you to feel what it's like when the 4 of us are together, because for me, it's such a driving force in the community and in our lives personally. We're going to do something a little different this morning. I was talking to a foundation the other day, and they said, do you think your community understands what it is you're really doing? And I kind of said, no, I don't think so, because we don't always talk about it. We don't tell a lot of stories, because it could be your neighbor or your children or somebody else that you might know in town, and we're trying to be really respectful of people's privacy. But that day is over. You have to understand the depth of people's lives when they intersect with us to truly understand what's happening in this little organization for our whole community. It's really quite astounding. And I'm feeling particularly sad this morning because we had a really difficult week, and Janie's going to talk about that a little bit. But I just wanted to say I need 2 things. I need an introduction to the Attorney General. So if any of you are having dinner with them this afternoon, I really need you to call me and get me hooked up. We have somebody that needs to talk to the Attorney General because they're in a really difficult place with a case about possibly losing their children, which is totally not founded. So that's one thing. And the other thing we need is a family law attorney that would do a pro bono case, because we haven't been able to find that in years, and we still need that. We just as an organization cannot pay for everybody's legal fees, which is very much a part of living in poverty in anybody's life, but we're certainly seeing that here. So those are my 2 asks. Don't want money, I want an introduction. So I'm going to introduce Donald Martin next. Hi, Gary. Donald's our thrift store manager. Do it.
Thanks, folks.
Oh, wait 1 second. Whoop. Can I just say, I feel a little bit like a celebrity this morning because the welcomes that we have gotten from walking in the door, I'll do autographs later if you want, but it was so lovely. It was so lovely. Thank you for that really lovely welcome. Okay, go.
Good. Thanks for having us today here, folks. So the thrift shop is often first contact for somebody who's in crisis. So we had this person come in once who was distraught. They were crying. They needed help desperately. It was somebody Janie was working with at the time. They had a job. They were doing everything they could to get back on their feet again. But they were also taking care of an elderly person, an elderly relative. And it was too much. They couldn't work, they couldn't be a caretaker at the same time. It just wasn't working. So they made this gut-wrenching decision to bring this elderly relative to family out of state. It was hard. She felt guilty. They felt alone, like they were a failure. And to make matters worse, they had no gas to get them there. So you can imagine, for most of us, we need gas, we put gas in our tank, it's easy. Well, it wasn't easy for this person. So we tried to make it easier. We gave them gas cards to get them there and back. We gave them a Hannaford gift card so they could get some food along the way. tried to make it easier for them. Then we had another person who needed to get to cancer treatment every week. And guess what? They had no gas to get them there. So again, for us, that's easy, right? Cancer treatments, easy. Fill up that tank so I can get to my cancer treatments. Well, they just couldn't do it. So they came to us. We tried to make it easier. We gave them gas cards so they were able to get to their cancer treatments every week. And, you know, for most of us here, it's easy to decide to get gas. But for many, many people in this community, it's not that easy. But we try to make it easier. So thank you. Appreciate your time.
Maureen Munson, our food pantry manager.
Yes, I'm the food pantry manager. Thanks for having us here today. Appreciate it. I have a contact with you even though I don't see you all the time, but your community is incredible with your donations that we get every month from you. It makes a huge difference. And the fact that you'll take a wish list of what we actually need is awesome because we often get a lot of the stuff that we don't need. You know, I don't need any bagged beans. If you're thinking of dropping that off,
Just call it weird.
I don't need any more bagged beans because we get a lot of bagged beans from the government donations, so we don't need that. But so by going by the wish list is a huge help to us. So at the food pantry, we often, as the thrift store, it's sort of the gateway into assistance. People know there's a food pantry in town. They don't always know where it is because we don't put the name on the building because we don't want to gather attention to people that have to come to us. And it's a way of keeping their privacy a little bit. So often people come, if they go to town hall, they'll send it to us. But then once they get to the food pantry, first few times are really hard. Often we'll meet off hours or I'll tell them to come at a quieter time where they won't be inundated with a lot of people at pickup time. So people come in, once they get into the food pantry, then we can often get them connected with family services. If there's anything else that they need, because usually if they need food, it's because they're trying to pay an electric bill or they're trying to pay for oil. So we can also get them connected with family services who then can help them with a variety of help, not just with fuel, but to where they could go for other places, not just from YCSA or some kind of organization that also does different bills. And the other thing is we often get gas cards. Donald mentioned the gas cards. I give out gas cards. Once in a while, if we get a big donation, we'll go out and we'll buy gas cards. You would think I was giving people $1 million. If I hand out a gas card to everyone who comes to the pantry on Wednesday and Thursday, it is a huge gift. As we all know, the increase in gas has been it's been hard on all of us, right? It makes you decide where you're going to go and where you're not going to go. So that has been a huge help as well. So thank you for all that you do for us. It's very much appreciated. Pass you off to Jeannie.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the warm welcome. As Michelle said, we're very blessed to be here. Family Services does an array of things for folks in town as gas cards, food, medical assistance, medical equipment, help with rent. Pardon? Car repairs, thank you. And we've helped folks who don't have teeth get dentures, all kinds of crazy things. But one of the things that makes us most successful is that we have partnerships with folks in town, and First Parish is one of those partnerships that we're very grateful for. This summer we had 2 people in the community who had absolutely no one, no family, no relatives, a handful of friends in town who died. They died in their apartments. No one knew they were dead. It was heart-wrenching. And we get those calls from the police or the undertaker, Steve Martin, here in town. This past week, we buried someone who literally had no one. She was a member of our food pantry, a client of our food pantry, but she had no one. And we were able to pull together through the partnerships we have in town, a funeral service at First Parish Cemetery with clergy and people to come with flowers, and we buried her. And it was one of the most emotional events that we've had that touched all of our hearts, because everyone deserves to leave this world with dignity and grace. And that's how we feel about all of our clients for all the things we do. But these two deaths really brought it home to us this summer. What an important part we play in people's lives right up until the very end. So thank you to all of you for your assistance with what we do here in town. The partnership we have here is, we're so grateful.
Thanks, Janet. Somebody said, a client with very severe social anxiety, he said, "You and Janie, sometimes you scare me." I said, yes, we're both Irish Catholic women, and we know how to speak up, and we are not backing down from any kind of advocacy we need to do. But we are also two of the most kind and loving women in your life right now, so get over it. And he has been lovely in reaching out and stuff like that. But we're dealing with extraordinarily difficult cases, and that's what we're sort of feeling like. We don't want to protect the community. We certainly just want to protect the people we're working with. But we just are really feeling like, oh, no. People need to know 5 days, nobody knew you were dead. How do we fix that as a town? And we will. We can work on that. It's easy. So we're going to start our community supper. The Table of Plenty, whole thing, that's all over. Our connection with them is ended. We are taking over the York Supper. We will be again doing it here. Thank you so much for that. And we'll see how it goes with COVID, because everybody's nervous whether we should have a dinner or not. So we're going to try it in December. Anybody remember the date? 6th. December 6th will be the first. We'll do it every other week. And we want to make it more open to the community with young families with their kids, for moms to come have a night and dads come have a night, and not just have it be about seniors, although seniors are a big part of that dinner. We understand that. So we're busy. We've got a really cool thing we're working on around housing. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll have some really great news and the new person joining us. And we're just taking names, you know what I mean? Thank you all so much. We're really grateful to be here and to do the work we do. It's very much the work you're doing in this building as well. Thanks.